Well, I guess apart from the game, and maybe in front of the game, most interest is centred on would Manly cross the bridge. And there's a shot of some of the faithful. There's certainly more here than there was in the qualifying first week of the finals last year, but not by very much, I've got to say. But let's pay credit to those that have made the journey across the Spit Bridge and the Harbour Bridge to try and get the Premiers into next Friday night against Melbourne. The Cowboys, meantime, hello everybody up there in North Queensland. Thank you for joining us. It's a big night for you. The Grand Final 2005 is as close as you've come, but this is your best roster. There's no doubt about that. Aiming for their 6th win in a row, and they come here off the back of a win over Brisbane, averaging 35 points per game during their 5-game winning streak. At the end of the regular season, no side had scored more points than the Cowboys. 597. Good on you, Jonathan. Keep doing it. 597 was their highest personal achievement since they made the grand final, as I said, in 2005. Talking of personal achievements, this man, Matt Bowen, at the back of the Cowboys, with an injury-free run, has had one of his best seasons ever. And his combination with Jonathan Thurston has never had a better understanding. Matthew Bowen, 13 finals appearances. And to win man of the match in your first finals game and score a hat-trick of tries means that Michael Morgan, the number 7, has filled the vacuum that was becoming a bit of a problem for them. Ray Thompson, Robert Louis come to mind, but he has a wonderful understanding with Jonathan Thurston. They've won only 2 games against Manly in Sydney in their time in the top level since 1995. Tonight, it won't get any easier, but as I said, I do think this is the best team that I've seen go round for the Cowboys since that inaugural year. Manly, a magnificent record against them. Not only have they bundled them out of the finals with big scores on the 2 occasions they've met, they've won 6 of their last 8 against them. 12 members of last year's grand final side are here tonight. And they're going to need them too, I think, the way the Cowboys have been playing. And Jamie Lyon, of course, well, he's commanded the front page, the back page and the centre page. And his value to Manly best illustrated with their win ratio down to 33% when he doesn't play. And there was some thought that the man next to him, Glenn Stewart, might have been under a cloud as well. But they're both out there at the Sydney Football Stadium, Allianz, as it's now called. And I look to my left along the benches here of the commentary team, waiting for them to smile and giggle at my pronunciation of Allianz. But I was talking to the general manager today, and he said, you've got it spot on correct now. What, all 6 that you used through the course of the evening? Peter, lovely to see you. Thurston kicks off. It's sudden death football. The winner will go to Melbourne next Friday night. And here is Brent Kite with the first carry of the night, and he's met by the Cowboys 15 metres out from the Manly line. And so Jason King, one of the captains that we were talking about in the preview, I prefer to look upon him as a club captain rather than maybe the on-field captain. Here's Glenn Stewart away to Jamie Lyon. First test of that calf muscle injury as he extended down the right side. Watmo then was taken by Scott. He got the ball away and Foran is with it.
That's 4, Dallas, hit up.
Some thought it might have been Liam Foran out there as well as brother Kieran, but such is not the case as Watmo tries to create a passage through the middle. He's lost the ball. So the Cowboys will get the first advantage. Middle of the ground. 5 metres their side of halfway. Let's have a look at it. It wasn't something that stood out like a beacon. And there it is. Anthony Watmo endeavouring to get up, and I suppose there's some grey there. The tackler still had a hand on his back.
Ray was carrying the ball in one arm.
So he deserved it.
Exactly.
So here is the second rower, Hall, who played with Manly for a few seasons. And it's gone away to Matthew Scott. And he will play the ball right in the middle of the ground. This should pan out very much like any sudden death encounter. It'll be tight. It may open up later in the game, but originally they'll be out to try and complete their sets. Morgan drops one down then to Hall. He'll play the ball on the Manly 30-metre line. Seguiaro, the run on dummy half, and then Thurston goes back and picks up Linnett. And he's, of course, tonight playing on his old home ground here, formerly from the Sydney Roosters. And Bowen puts a kick into the air. And Manly getting under it, batted back by Tate. It was batted back okay. Johnson got it down, picked up by Watmo. And Manly, just a little bit of danger there for them. And that is Tafua, who's with the ball, playing it inside the 20-metre line. Penalty goes to Manly. Shane Hayne and Ben Cummins in charge of this game tonight.
That penalty going against Glenn Hall. You mentioned that he did have a couple of seasons at Manly. He was actually part of their 2008 grand final winning side. Tremendous acquisition for the North Queensland side.
Kieran Foran, Daly Cherry Evans finding the line right on the halfway. Farre, who scored a hat-trick of tries on debut against the Cowboys back in 2010. He was to be the centre if Jamie Lyon pulled out. Here is Foran taking them on. So Kieran playing at 35 away. Watmo for Brett Stewart up into the line. Cherry Evans back to Glenn Stewart. Jonathan Thurston rides him into the ground. Jamie Lyon then pushes Thurston out of the road. And then is tackled just outside the 20-metre line. So Manly, this is their first visit down Cowboys end of the park. It's gone from balance through Foran to Williams out wide. 19 out, this is the last. And Ballon comes on to Foran. Foran puts a kick across. It's a delicate kick and it's batted back and it's gone down and gone away for the winger to score. Oldfield. Michael Oldfield has scored for Manly. Lovely kick.
Well, the kick was lovely, but have a look at the work at the end of it. Jamie Lyon, how often have we seen him knock the ball back deliberately straight into the arms of a teammate, and the quick hands from the man who he knocks it back to in Glenn Stewart is outstanding. Knocked back in the one motion, passes to give as much room for Oldfield to operate in as possible, and it was enough.
Well, their first visit brings a big harvest for Manly. Game only 5 minutes old. Michael Oldfield gets his 13th try in his 49th game. Well, Michael Oldfield has scored the first points of the game, the first try of the game, his 49th game, his 13th try, and he's a junior from Harbour Devils. So big cheerio to that wonderful club over there on the peninsula at Harbour. One of your juniors, one of the few juniors actually in the Manly side to score the first try in this most important game.
And if Jamie Lyon is successful with this kick, it will bring up 900 points. A little bit of a milestone, but he'll be thinking more about 2 than 900 to put his side a converted try in front.
22 out on the sideline. And it's gone away. To the left of the uprights, Andrew Johns is sidelined tonight.
He's had plenty of ball early, Jamie Lyon. He looks fit. This will test it. Watch this movement here, the explosive movement on the Kuno replay. Look at the leap there from Lyon and the bat back. That's the sort of movement that'll test the calf muscle. Look, the power movement, the way he jumps up and powers off that leg. I think he'll get through the 80. Good news for Manly.
Cowboys then restarting down 4-0, and Watmo it is with the ball. Fairly heavily bearded tonight is Watmo. He is with the ball now. His carry out to the 30-metre line. Got a ball away. Ballon, Kite. Just puts a little step into his work. Hall is there with Johnson.
That was good hands from Matt Ballon. That could have been disastrous, frankly, what made the offload. The hooker did well.
Jerry Evans for Glenn Stewart running an inside passage, and then his brother Brett is with the ball. 4 or 5 metres into North Queensland territory. King. So Jason, who missed the grand final last year, will be straining every muscle to get them to Melbourne next Friday night. Oh, mistake by Bowen! And the referee has ordered a knock on both ways.
First one by Cowboys.
And the first was by the Cowboys, so Manly are going to come up with all of the aces.
Well, it was probably a ball he didn't need to jump to. They were well away from him, the Manly players. And I think he did it to himself in trying to retrieve it. Glenn Stewart has also knocked on. A tad of consolation there from his captain, and they're right back under the pump here, the Cowboys.
In both those finals that Manly have taken them out in, they've scored massive victories over the Cowboys. But 4-0 at the moment, and here's another chance for them now. As it comes away to Foran, a decoy, then Brett Stewart stepping through one, but taken by Morgan it was over there, out very wide. Here's Williams. And Tony Williams to play the ball. Back to Ballon to Kite, the run around for Ballon, then he goes back to Jerry Evans, knocked on Manly by King. The advantage with Johnson for the Cowboys. Seguiaro, Tamo.
Yeah, Jason King only half wanted that ball, I think. He really thought he was a decoy runner, and had he had his wits about him, he was into space.
Hall losing it behind him. And Tate was with the ball. He's been in outstanding form, and he got that ball away again to Hall. And Hall is tackled inside the 40-metre line, his own end of the ground. Now for Thurston. Bowen's leaning up, but Thurston will play the ball centre of the ground. At the football stadium, and a penalty goes to the Cowboys. Watmo too late in getting up.
It's always the worry for the Cowboys whether or not they can bring their North Queensland form here to Sydney. They haven't performed well here in the past. And whilst they've been in good form, and probably some of the best form of the whole competition over the last 5 weeks, remains to be seen whether they measure up tonight.
Here's Thurston going back to Matthew Scott, and Scott is hit by 3 of the Manly defenders. 20 metres out from the line, Seguiaro turning it back into Tamo. Tamo back to his front row partner, then to Thurston, just a short ball back to Hall. He's getting plenty of work in the opening minutes of the game. And again from the dummy half to Johnson. And Johnson is in the middle of the ground, right in front of the northern uprights. 10 metres out. Seguiaro, 14, Morgan, Thurston, long ball. Graham thrusts the ball back into the field of play. It's gone over the sideline. I think it'll be a Manly feed.
A very good defence there from George Tafua. The wide pass from Jonathan Thurston, trying to give the season's leading try scorer Ashley Graham some space to work in, and it's one-on-one. Tafua stands his ground, shows good upper body strength. And Graham knew he was going over the sideline, so hefted the ball back in field, but it ended up over the white line anyway.
Manly 4-0 then.
It's nice defence because they made Jonathan Thurston task long, and then they had it covered. Everyone marked up on their man and offered the playmaker very little there. Thurston just went to his winger in hope. He got bundled in the touch.
There's Williams.
Hearing the comments from the two best in the business, Peter Sterling and Phil Gould in the box, and downstairs here's Oldfield, who's certainly downstairs and downfield with a long run, got the ball away, missed the target, and Winterstein comes up with it for the Cowboys.
Yeah, plenty of people tell you Michael Oldfield is the quickest at the Manly club. He showed a clean pair of heels here as the Cowboys go on the counter-attack, but really surged down that right-hand touchline. He nearly got the ball back into Cherry Evans, and it would have been good night, nurse.
We'll have a look at that at some other stage tonight. I'm wondering whether he could have just passed, drew the fullback and passed to Cherry Evans back on his inside. We've got a forward pass now from the Cowboys. But no lack of adventure so far from Manly with the football, especially down this right-hand side now. Back on the inside. Oh, no, well, if he passed beforehand, if he passed before he got to Matt Bowen, I think Daly Cherry Evans was away. James Tarmo was the closest man to him.
Toyota Cup tonight. Let me put that score up for you. It went to, believe it or not, the Dragons 46 over the Bulldogs 20. The minor premiers have gone out in the second week. Dragons will play the Raiders for a spot in the grand final, and the New South Wales Rugby League Under 13 challenge today. Wentworthville beat Holy Cross Ride. I think it was something like 16-0. God bless those kids that had a chance to play a curtain raiser here tonight from Wenty and Holy Cross Ride, who produced Benny Elias and a couple of other very good players as it goes to Tafua. The Gale brothers come to mind. Play back to Farre, then to Foran, now to Kite, now to Ballon. Ballon away for Cherry Evans, and he gets it on to Glenn Stewart, who gets it on to Jamie Lyon. We'll play it 9 metres out. Manly attacking, and a little kick by Ballon is beautifully fielded by Bowen. There's Morgan with the ball now.
Well, that was a bit of a rush of blood there from Matt Ballon. They were boiling, Manly. That kick, no one else knew it was on apart from the kicker and Matt Bowen. And Bowen was able to defuse the situation and take the pressure off. Now Tate from dummy half finds Thurston, who finds Tarmo.
And Tarmo with a no-looker just throws it back, and it's picked up by Brent Tate. It's picked up by the Manly defence and made to play the ball. And Thurston drives a kick down between fullback and wing. And it's going down to the try line with Oldfield. And he will play it 5 or 6 metres out from his own line. 4-0 in favour of Manly. A try scored by Oldfield at the 5th minute of the game. Farre, with me rattling off some names from Holy Cross Ride, and from Wenty, of course, hails a fellow called Paul Gallen. Here is Brett Stewart. He'll play the ball inside the 40-metre line.
Too slow. James, just too slow, mate.
No, that's sloppy work there by the Cowboys. It was a brilliant kick and chase by Jonathan Thurston to force them back on their line. But then a couple of tackles later, they gave up easy metres and then the penalty to relieve. Look at this, beautiful kick and chase. Doesn't get any better than that. That should be a momentum changer. And a couple of tackles later, they're out near the 40 and winning a penalty because you're trying to slow the play of the ball down.
Manly onto the attack again.
So you want me to say Wenty was my junior club, don't you? That's what you're waiting for.
Ball comes out the back and to Cherry Evans, and he goes behind one of the Stewarts to Brett Stewart to Oldfield. He does well. He puts a nice kick in. Lovely weight on it. Bowen's in trouble. Even Matthew Bowen's in trouble. And Cooper is taken dead. Gee, that's a good piece of football by Oldfield.
Well, it's brilliant football by Oldfield. Matty Bowen was in trouble. Well, I tell you, the bloke that he gave trouble to was his second rower teammate. Why would Matty Bowen pass this ball when surrounded by all these Manly fellas? Good defence by the Cowboys. They forced him to sideline. Oldfield kick, nice touch. Bowen slips. That should be the end of it. But no, he gets up and throws it to his back rower, mate. Crikey, anything could have happened there.
Well, no, it ended up brilliant, but that was first tackle. I would have thought Oldfield, when he caught the football, just goes back in field to take the first tackle. Some heavy defence there on the Manly ball carrier in Kite.
Here's Ballon then. Now for King. 30 metres out. 4-0 in favour of Manly. Cherry Evans goes back for Glenn Stewart. Turns it in. Jamie Lyon runs into a shoulder from Bowen. Pulled down by Lynette. Drop there. Penalty, I'd say, to Manly. It is.
We've got Cherry Evans in trouble here, Ray, with the left shoulder. Hit after passing.
Yeah, it must have been off the ball with Daly Cherry Evans. He was the one that went to the line and then threw the pass out the back. This might be a stinger. Let's have a look. Oh, no, he's close enough. He's close enough. It's fair game. Nice play, though, by the... Yeah, he got hit as he passed it. Nice play by Lyon to surge back on the inside. They're really testing them down this right-hand touch line. That's the Manly strength.
Cooper got him. Gavin Cooper. Andrew sideline.
Yeah, he was screaming out. It looked originally after he'd been hit that he was gone. He was holding that shoulder, but he's a tough rooster, Daly Cherry Evans, and lives by the sword. If a half goes into the line like this, you've got to be prepared to get whacked. Nothing illegal in that.
He's still hurting, that he's sucking it in. He's doing his best not to show anybody that there's a problem there, most importantly the opposition, but he's hurting at the moment.
So that's what Jamie Lyon has got. 15 in from touch and about 16 metres out.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that I know it's a final, but 4-0, it does take them out to convert a try. I thought early on in the contest, a quarter of the way through, they might have tried to get their second try on board.
So here is Jamie Lyon with the attempted penalty goal, and he's got this one. So 6-0 is the score. 18 minutes gone. Manly over the Cowboys, the defending premiers, leading, and Jamie Lyon playing a major part.
They nearly burned the football behind the goalpost there. That ball sailed through the posts, and then the fireworks at the back end of the ground went up, and I think the ball nearly went through the fire. They could have burnt the ball to bits.
A shortish restart here from the Cowboys. It's not ideal. Tony Williams catching at 15 out, easily outside the 20. It's giving away meters.
Kite. Foran setting off an ignition down the left side, and Tafua's got support inside. Oh, it's Brett Stewart. That's shut the gates. That is domino, that is tally, that is a try for Brett Stewart.
Of course it's Brett Stewart. Anytime a Manly player looks back in field from a break down the centre of the field, and it's Brett Stewart herring his way to get in a position to take advantage. It's a brilliant take from George Tafura as well. 3-on-3 on the short side, but Brent Tate comes in when he needed to stay out, and a bit of juggling from the young left winger for the Manly club. Parramatta Junior draws Matt Bowen. Probably could have committed him a little bit more, but he knew that Stewart would always have the pace to score under the post. We're about to be 12-0.
Snakes alive. New South Wales fullback. Well, there he is, the try-scoring wizard from Manly. 5 tries in his past 4 finals matches. 3 tries in 2 finals against the Cowboys. Lyon converts, and Stewart has also crossed for 6 tries from his past 4 games this season. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, tip it home for kids. Even if you're off the ball, always jog and move, because once a threat's there on the Kuno replay, you look at the bloke in number 1 there. Once you're jogging, you can sprint to a threat. He was the only Manly player there. Great anticipation, a natural try scorer. You see here, a bit of a juggle, great hands there by George Tafua. Pulls it out of his back pocket on the Kuno replay. And then who else? Look at him. Once in space and the head goes back, there's no running down Brett Stewart.
I'm glad you said pocket.
Manly with the ball inside their own 10.
It was an uncharacteristically bad read from Brent Tate. It was 3 on 3. If he stays on Dean Farrate, then there's no real problem. But Tony Williams now charging the ball forward. Wind in their sails, the Eagles.
This is Watmo. Inside the 40-metre line. Fallen again down that side that presented them with the try for Brett Stewart. Just a simple blindside play. They outnumbered them. And that ball will go dead, so it'll come back to the 20 for the restart. And it won't be an urgent restart either, because nobody really from the Cowboys was back behind the 20-metre line anyway. Matthew Scott is coming off.
I love the way Kieran Foran keeps dummying and charging at the line and keeping the defenders honest. That'll come back with some reward for him later on. You watch his short and long passing game start to come to the fore. He sets them up for 70 minutes if he has to.
Ashton Sims is out there in 16. James Tamo is with the ball. Tamo, now that's stupid. That is stupid, James. When you get the football, you don't do anything at all to the marker. Just get up and play it. He's lucky he didn't give a penalty. Thurston now. Stabbing it down the ground. It'll come to rest just in the in goal. And Seguiaro and Thurston led the chase. Stewart got back. Only just, but to see the way he did it, he went to the ground. He was looking for the dirt. He knew that was where he had to get.
And that was leadership from Jonathan Thurston, knowing his team needs a lift, needed a big play, someone to produce. Now he kicked, trying to get the restart from under the post. And now Glenn Stewart throws it out the back, cleaned up by Matt Ballon.
Sherry Evans for Kate. And Brent playing the ball on the 10-metre line, 20-metre line out from his own goal line. And Sherry Evans passes to Jamie Lyon to clear. And so the Cowboys bring it back towards halfway with Graham. This is Winterstein.
And that was the Cowboys' best set in defence so far tonight. They kicked from their own 20 there, Manly. They muscled up the Cowboys to give themselves field position with the football now.
Leonard again. Sims a carry. Seguiaro, Morgan, Thurston, Bowen, across the face and bouncing over to Graham. And Ashley, who needs a couple to break the record, the club record held by Matt Bowen. Thurston kicks across the ground. Leonard puts it back down, but he's put it down to a player that was well and truly marked, and they knock on.
They've really done their homework, this Manly side. Everywhere that the Cowboys go with the ball, Manly have marked up man for man. Cowboys rolling through their plays, and there's nothing on offer for them at the moment. Manly just covering every move. It's brilliant.
It's amazing how things grow. The back down has become so popular in the game, but sometimes it's just as easy to catch the ball and do something with it. Right there you saw a back down to a player that had a fella actually standing alongside, almost ready to embrace him. Here's Ballon putting the kick away. Rubbering along the ground down to Bowen, who's away and up to the 30-metre line. Explosive speed off the mark. One of the most thrilling players ever to play the game, Matthew Bowen. Antonio Winterstein is with the ball now. You're watching another of our elimination finals. Somebody is leaving the house tonight. And somebody will leave the house again tomorrow night. So 4 down to 6, and 6 will become 5. Tomorrow night, Rabbitohs, Raiders, followed by Wallabies up against the Pumas. On the home of big sport. Thurston high, down to Stewart. Oh, came off in chance here for Cowboys. Is he offside? No, he simply ordered knock on.
He went past. Hit their centre and then went back to him. But he's gone past it when he went to pick up.
Yeah,
but then went back to Brett. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but you're not understanding. No, that's not.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's no penalty, but it's a great opportunity for the Cowboys. And look, we made the point over the last few weeks about Manly and their second halves. For me, again, their game starts tonight at half-time. And if the Cowboys can somehow get themselves within touch, even at 12-6 at the break, would be a good result for them, because they have got the ability to finish strongly, and Manly haven't done it for a while.
So Cowboys winning the scrum, and they're aiming it out wide to where Cherry Evans is defending. Thurston has got the ball, and they're 2 metres out from the line. Away it goes now, and it's come down to Cooper, who's taken down in front of the uprights. Joe Nullavow is out there. A long ball goes away to Morgan. The 18 is there for the Cowboys. Mitchell is out there now, the other dummy half. And back they come across to the 16, who pops it back down to Mitchell again. Mitchell gives it to Thurston. Thurston on the 10-metre line. He gives the ball to Bolton, to Sims, Ashton Sims. 6 metres out in front of the uprights. The Cowboys on the attack. Thurston goes long to Bowen. Bowen to Morgan. Morgan puts a kick in. Cleaned up, but so too a Manly in goal. Line dropout.
That's a good result for the Cowboys to get the ball back. But again, you have to applaud the Manly defence, who had them covered everywhere there. And when the Cowboys start switching from one side of the play the ball to the other, you know that they're guessing. Their game is built on strike, and at the moment the Cowboys to me look slow and confused with the brick wall that Manly are putting up in front of them. They need a try for their own confidence, because the longer this goes, the more frustrated the visitors will get.
12 minutes to go in the first half. 12-0 in favour of Manly over the Cowboys. The telecast coming to you exclusively live on 9 and associated networks around Australia and around the globe. Here's Hall. 27 away. Johnson. Watmo was told,
Anthony, too slow,
get up and get away.
Way too slow.
Too slow. Penalty Cowboys, so they go back on to this attacking vein, and I'm wondering how long Manly can hold them out. You put these sets back to back at this level and you're inviting trouble.
It kind of looks to me like Manly are enjoying the defence. They're hitting pretty hard here, Rabbits.
Here's Morgan back to Sims. Sims centralises play. 10 metres out, centre ground, running towards the north. That's Mitchell in 18, Tamo, the big man, in 10. And 2 metres out from the line. Played again to Mitchell. Mitchell to Morgan. Morgan to Hall. Hall is pulled down. Try line, 1 metre away. And again Mitchell, he looks to go right, he goes left, and they put it on the stomach of Tamo, and Tamo will score! Tamo scores for the Cowboys!
Wow. And he has done it all on his own. It has not been awarded as yet.
Sort of obstruction. I'm happy with the grounding. Righto.
Well, you heard, looking for obstruction, it didn't appear as though there were any, and they were going nowhere. They were going side to side, inside ball. He did well to catch this, James Tamo, because he didn't expect the pass to be coming to him. And then, as we've seen on a couple of occasions, for a big man, he's got good evasion, good footwork. There's the number 10 there now. He doesn't know where he should be. He's just basically out of play. Mitchell shapes one way, comes back the other. Bowen goes across. Yep, there it is. I didn't expect it, but I'll get rid of Ballon. I'll come to Foran and bump him off. Now I've got Williams. I'll put a right foot step on him, and I'll carry Watmo over just to get my side back into it.
I think they were worried about the bloke that played the ball. Did he actually create a hole? I mean, it's all, don't get me wrong, it's got to be a try, but that's what they were looking at. It'll be a try for Tamo. There it is. So Jonathan Thurston will attempt the try, just scored by James Tamo, who was, of course, the centre of all of that talk about should he or should he not be allowed to play for Australia. And now I notice the same talk is starting to happen about the Raider that you'll see tomorrow night, Papali, the Tommy Lee Jones of last Sunday, hunting down the fugitive Paul Gallen. What was his name? Josh Papali, wasn't it, Peter? You like that?
That's it, Ray. He loves saying it. I like to hear you say
I'm into things, people. Here's the kick from Thurston, and he's got it. Or does he ever miss them? Wally Lewis sideline.
Well, one of the most important things for the Cowboys was to remain patient. The Sea Eagles' defence had been wonderful. It forced the Cowboys to go looking for something else. The Keno replay showed the big fella getting back and finally charging on the ball. He came up with 30 hit-ups in last week's game against the Brisbane Broncos. Have a look at the footwork on the big bloke and the stretch out for the hand. They desperately needed confidence as much as points on the board.
So we're about 9 minutes away from the break, and Matthew Scott brings it away for the Cowboys. This is Ashton Sims. And Tarek, his brother, would be doing it. But he's been doing it tough for a long time now. Tarek, but he'd be doing it tougher than ever at the moment, watching the sudden death final.
His time will come.
Graham played that ball. I thought Mitchell's pass to Scott might have been a little bit, how's your father? Now Bowen kicks long down to George Tufua.
Well, he went through it last year, Tarek Sims as well. Missed the final series through injury. The Cowboys believe they've got a man coming off the bench who can do a similar job in Taumalolo. An outstanding young player as well. You can see him in action in the second half of Manly now centre field, bring it out. Second man to Cherry Evans on to Glenn Stewart.
He's got the ball away then to Jamie Lyon. He'll play the ball on the 30-metre line. Oldfield went in the dummy half. Glenn Stewart gave it to Tony Williams. Williams had it given to him by the Cowboys defence, led by Dallas Johnson. Now Watmo gets it on, and scrambling up through the middle was Darcy Lussick, who's out there for Manly. And now Cherry Evans puts a kick in. I fancy that he's still dusty, Cherry Evans. He really took a strong hit from Cooper. I might be wrong, but he's going in to make that tackle now, so there's a good chance I am wrong. But I just thought his involvement ratio was down since the injury. And that was Taumalolo, who is on now, the man that Peter was talking about. The present day answer to Tarek Sims being out. That's Gavin Cooper.
This is much better from the Cowboys. Their last two sets of 6 in scoring points have been very, very good coming out of trouble. They're back into a rhythm and starting to enjoy the contest.
And Thurston is putting on a lot of big plays. He's putting on a lot of inspirational leadership plays. Just igniting them and showing them this is the way to go, follow me, without becoming too biblical. Here is Cherry Evans now bouncing away from the man that got him earlier, Cooper. And eventually he beats Cooper, but he doesn't beat the others. Morgan, one of them. Halfway line, crossed by Foran, runs to the line. Fare's picked up and driven by the right shoulder of Brent Tate. And now it's come away to Foran, who was back and in position to take the kick very, very quickly. And bringing it back is Winterstein. So 12-6 the score. Manly over the Cowboys, and we are 5 minutes away from halftime. And tomorrow night, of course, the Raiders will visit ANZ. Oh, Taumalolo, a juggle.
Oh, he chipped, Ray. There's a chip for himself. Chip and regather.
They'll visit ANZ Stadium to a reception from the red and green, the borough will be out in full force tomorrow night. And this is Scott bumping his way up the middle, trundling his way up the middle.
Great run.
Mitchell now. Thurston plugs it in. Jamie Lyon read the play beautifully. And I'll tell you something else, he had to.
Well, that's an enormous play from Jamie Lyon. Go back to a high shot and let's see where Jamie Lyon is on last play. Now, he's way out here on the right-hand side of the field for Manly. The ball goes the other side of the play, the ball, but he reads where Bowen is and gets him behind the goalpost there. So on the opposite side of the field, the ball goes away from him, yet he goes to the game because he sees the danger in Bowen lurking around the middle of the field. Now, that's a heads-up play from a heads-up player. That's outstanding.
Stay behind it. Stay there.
Drop out for Cherry Evans. Not long. It'll bounce down over the 40-metre line. And here's Scott. Brilliant run a couple of minutes ago. Mitchell wants Sims now. He's got him. Sims will play the ball 25 metres out from the Manly line. Thurston ran a decoy. Johnson's with the ball. Now Mitchell getting it back again to Sims, and here's the Cowboys on the attack. 9 metres out from the Manly line. Thurston goes away to Morgan. Morgan turns it back in to Brent Tate, and he puts the ball back out the rear to Scott, and now to Cooper. Cooper tries to fend away and nearly got rid of the ball. Jamie Lyon put him on the ground. Mitchell goes open side. Bowen puts a kick across. He thinks there's vacant space. Ashley Graham contests the ball with Tafua.
Manly.
And they're all doing some pointing. It's a line drop out. It's a line drop out. It's come off Manly.
Yeah, they're all appealing that Graham has come through and got a touch. But I don't know that. Let's have a look. Up he goes. No, I don't think he did. I think it's all Tafua. Graham valiantly tried, but I think he missed.
I think it's the last man standing that got the tap on it.
Yep,
and that's George Tafua.
Make sure you're behind.
So one last chance here for the Cowboys. Couple of minutes left on the clock.
Thanks.
Gee whiz, if they score here and narrow the deficit even further, then the test really comes for Manly's medal in this second half. This game starts at half-time.
Scott returning the kick from Cherry Evans, which was markedly better than the previous. Mitchell, Johnson, Sims, and Ashton Sims will play the ball inside the 20-metre line, playing it back again to Mitchell. The everywhere man. Here's Scott again. Now they're 9 metres out from the line. Here's Mitchell again, and here's Big Cooper. And he's put down 2 metres out. Minute and a quarter to go, first half. Mitchell dummies and then gives it out long to Thurston. Steps off his right foot, tries to burrow through. Play back to Mitchell, who didn't know he'd played the ball actually. Here's Bowen putting in a kick, and Ballon got it on the legs and dived on it.
Yeah, nice play from Matty Ballon there. Matty Ballon shaped to go long again and then came back inside. Very noticeable the Cowboys have started working Manly around the middle, hitting back in behind to play the ball, looking for tired forwards. And they've looked better in that way than earlier on, throwing ball sideline to sideline.
Played by Jason King, and here's Tony Williams playing it on the 30-metre line. Ballon got it away to Cherry Evans and then to Watmo, but it was all a little bit sloppy. It was sort of a slow reaction even from Matt Ballon to play the ball. Now it's come away to Cherry Evans, and he drives it down the middle. And jumping into the air to take it is Matthew Bowen, and away he goes, and he gets it away to Graham. Or in fact, it was Tate, and he kicked, and he got it back to Stewart. Stewart for Manly. Push and shove him, and Graham now.
Thank you, got the full time. And the penalty, you got a penalty?
Yeah, but penalty.
Hey, wait.
Got a penalty.
Okay, we'll have a Manly penalty here, which is a little bit silly from the Cowboys.
We've got a penalty.
This is a little bit silly because it'll give Manly the opportunity to find touch and maybe snap a one-pointer. If Cherry Evans can get this far enough downfield, this just might be a tap throw it to someone for a field goal.
Okay, Darley.
Let's have a look where he finds touch. He can gamble with this all he likes. Bang, all the way downfield. That's a good kick. He's found touch at the 30. You can kick a field goal from here, Rabbits, if you wanted one.
That's pretty much, I think, what the plan has been. There's an interesting discussion. Here he goes for a long-range shot at field goal on its way. Matthew Bowen looks up. And Cherry Evans.
Well, that could have been a costly penalty, couldn't it? He wouldn't have missed by much.
No, he didn't miss by much at all. In fact, I took about 16 looks at it before I was prepared to even have an opinion, but that's the second time we've seen some absolutely dumb, stupid penalties offered by the Cowboys in at that play the ball area. It's not a stupid game, though. It's an interesting game. We've got the Cowboys retaliating. They're down by 6 to the Premiers.
Well, this is where the game starts for the defending Premiers. I've been very critical of their second halves for some time now, and in fact, if you look at their last month of football, in the second half, starting a month ago, they scored 4 points, 0 points, 6 points, and 0 points last week. So in 4 games, in their last 4 games, they've scored only 10 second half points, twice held to 0. That's why most of us feel this is really game on. And despite the Cowboys' poor record coming from behind, they must think they're close enough.
Cherry Evans then starts the second half of this game, and Matthew Scott it is that brings the ball back towards the 20-metre line down the centre corridor of the ground. Ashton Sims with the second hit up of the second half, and now for Gavin Cooper, and Cooper is held upright by 3 of the Manly players. Eventually told to let him go, and they lifted a leg. And now it's gone to Thurston and then to Bowen, and Bowen on for Linnett. Linnett getting it out towards halfway. Bowen, Thurston, and Taumalolo. 7 or 8 metres on Manly side of halfway, trailing by 6. The Cowboys at the break. And that kick is going, well, Tufua wasn't going to take any risk at all, and now they're going to take him back towards the in goal, but he's able to find the ground. Now Farre. This is Oldfield. Bellin. Kite. Brent Kite. Held on the 20-metre line. Ballon then early in the second half with a dummy half run. Marcus opened up. Cherry Evans drives it low. Bounces down on 20. Bounce good for Bowen. Bowen brings it back. Picked up and put down abruptly by Tafua. This is Graham.
And then they pat each other on the back when he gets up and plays the ball. There was a nice moment there. Matty Bowen absolutely belted by Tafua. Both men jump up, and once the ball is played, gave each other a pat on the back.
Sims, Thurston, Taumalolo. Just inside Manly's 40-metre line then. And then Mitchell, who's the dummy half at the moment for Seguiaro. Scott. Behind Morgan, straight to Thurston. Thurston kicks and Stewart's underneath it in the field of play. Now he's not.
20 Eddie, Brett.
He's ordered it out to the 20. He's ordered that he was back in the in-goal. Here is Tafua.
It was a really good shuffle backwards by Stewart if he got to the in-goal. Yeah, got his left foot right back on the line.
We've got a mistake here. George Tafua, the man tackled.
He's another Wendy Junior, George Tafua, Rabbits. There's plenty of them, you know.
Yeah, I understand. In fact, I think I know the point you're trying to make. You're dirty on me because I didn't include the fact you're a Wendy Junior yourself.
He got away with one there, Ashley Graham. Got his hand on the football, knocked it out, took the odds to it. Cowboys looking to take advantage. Scrum only 32 out.
Second semi tomorrow night. Rabbitohs and Raiders. 7:30, you'll see that. Followed by the Wallabies and the Pumas. Taumalolo. Red and green versus green tomorrow night. Scott made some very big indentations in the Manly line. Played on the 20-metre line. Mitchell has a look around. Gives the ball back for Taumalolo. We play it just outside the 10. Play towards the eastern side of the ground. They're running towards the southern end. The Cowboys trailing by 6, and it's Thurston coming away, and it's gone from Morgan, gone to Tate. Beautifully taken by Farray. Now from the winger Graham, it's gone to the halfback Morgan, back to Thurston. Thurston dummied, went one more, out to Scott. Scott got it away, Johnson. And Johnson will play the ball in front of the uprights. 9 metres out, last tackle. Here's Thurston, floats one, it's a try for Winterstein. What a beautiful pass from Thurston.
And a great read from the Cowboys attack, knowing that Jamie Lyon had come in the previous play to snuff out a dangerous situation. And if a centre is at marker, you know there's an opportunity somewhere. And Jonathan Thurston, just the man to take advantage of it, put it on a platter for Winterstein, who improved the position.
Okay, it might be wrong, but we can't change it.
Gee, I wonder what that was all about. Jamie Lyon jogged straight up to Ben Cummins.
It's the Tafua losing the football with the hand.
6 minutes gone in this second half.
Brisbane's loss has certainly become the Cowboys' gain. We always knew he was fast. We knew he was a wonderful finisher, and Antonio Winterstein has taken that to North Queensland. But obviously, many wingers have been the recipient of the perfect pass from one of the greatest players of all time. And I don't think that's an overstatement. Jonathan Thurston, considered by many to be the best player in the game at the moment.
He's getting better, Rabbits. His selective passing is actually getting better. And I was talking to Daryl Halligan about goal kickers. I said, out of all the kickers in the competition, who do you rate the best under pressure? He said, if my life depended on one, he said, I'd go with Thurston.
Okay. So Daryl, your last breath. Give it to Thurston. It's on its way. And Daryl, you're still alive. You're still alive, Mr. Halligan. It's 12-all in the semi-final, the sudden death semi-final. Wally Lewis.
Well, we've got a game on our hands. This is where the mistake was made by the referee. The Keno replay showing unbelievably how the referee missed it, and Jeff Tooby, well, he didn't take to it too well at all. And here's the class of a man, Jonathan Thurston, just spotted space out wide. It wasn't wasted by Winterstein. A golden opportunity. The Cowboys back in the game. We got a beauty coming.
And again, that's Matt Scott. Wonderful carry from the restart.
So there's the inquiry from Jamie Lyon. And full exhibition for you. No wonder they were blowing up. Taumalolo. 12-all.
It's all right to say the referee made a mistake. George Tafua is the one that made the mistake. He did not on the ball.
Cooper.
You get away with these little things from time to time. You can't get them all.
Sorry, Johnson. Kite makes the tackle. They're starting to stretch some of these big Manly forwards with a lot of little plays, pretty little plays around the ruck. Here is the number one.
Well, up to date, Jeff Tuvey has operated with 15 players. Jamie Burett and Vic Morrow yet to be used. He does tend to keep a few late, does Tuvey.
Sorry.
Big test for Manly. I mean, I can't imagine they haven't gone through training this week talking and trying to rectify their attitude in second halves. Now they need it most. Sudden death football. They've got to produce their best second half of the last 6 weeks.
Kite on his own 40-metre line. And now they've just extended it over the halfway line with Darcy Lussick. Milking is the call from the referee. And now Cherry Evans gets a kick in, but it goes friendly down to Bowen. And Bowen was able to get away from Foran pretty easily before he gave it to Graham. Ashley topping the try-scoring list in a joint fashion with Ben Barber. But Matthew Bowen, as I said earlier, holds the club record for most tries in a season. I think to break it, Ashley needs to score a couple of tries. He might have to do it tonight. We don't know. Thurston turning it in for Sim. The young man from the Illawarra. Back to Johnson, back to Thurston. Second man behind Cooper. Morgan got it on. Tate gets a fend on. Faray makes the tackle. 35 metres away. Tackles 5 Cowboys. 12 all to score. And Thurston kicks, and it goes wobbling down towards Brett Stewart, who takes it safely. And Tate hangs on to the bootlaces.
And Jonathan Thurston has aimed most of those kicks to the right-hand side of the field, knowing that Brent Tate is his best chaser. A couple of checkered passages as Tony Williams bursts his way through 4 defenders to the 40.
And Jeff Tuvey's probably saying, come on, Tony, give me some more of that. Penalty goes to Manly.
Well, that's the way Tony Williams should run. Charged onto the ball and then legs pumping, forced his way through the line. That's what you want. That's how a big man should run. Look at this, they're dripping off him. And then he wins the penalty because he's been aggressive and got the better of him. It's that sort of run that can totally change the momentum of the game. What he's got to do is come up with another one straight away. Let him know who's boss out there.
Love that. Dripping off them. Here it is with Brent Kite. He changes the point of the attack and goes back up the middle. Now Watmo, and 15 metres out in front of the uprights. A Manly about to go back to the leadership, and Stewart to Stewart. Ballon then sweeping it away to Cherry Evans, then Watmo, then Kite, not knowing what to do. Foran to Williams. Now the afterjets, the afterburners, got it away to Tafua. George Tafua. Well, if he scored, it'll be something special.
The momentum takes him into
He's a special young player, is George Tafua. He's done a very, very good job in the top grade for Manly this season. He made a point earlier on that from the grand final team, the wingers are the players who are missing, Michael Robertson and Will Hopewate. George Tafua up against Ashley Graham. It comes down to a battle of strength. He holds his line, foot stays away from the sideline, gets the football down short, and then moves it.
It appears to be short, doesn't it? He did a good job to keep his feet in touch. Short. Now, I thought I heard the referee say there was momentum, but did he lose it? Short. Now, the referee was saying, did he roll it? Was there momentum? The referee seemed to think it was momentum, but he wanted to know whether or not he lost it as he did it. And I think he's lost it. I think the ball's been punched from his grasp before it hits the chalk. Watch it here. It goes up on his arm and then gets knocked out.
I think he's given it some help at the same time, though, Gus.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. Now they're looking to see if he's held onto it as he's reached over the back of his head. That's short. Does he lose it here as the ball goes up, up, up? Is that grounding there, or is there a hand underneath it?
I think he has grounded it. Ashley Graham has knocked it out after the point of the ball has touched. But
if this goes ref's call, Peter, I think he'll give a try because he said I think he had momentum. They're just looking whether or not he lost it. Have a look at it in normal speed, ref. Don't go slow motion. That's short. I think he half lost it backwards, got knocked into his hand, lifts it up. Yeah, the answer's a pineapple. I reckon they'll go try here. I reckon they'll go try.
Well, we'll soon know. It's a try, benefit of the doubt.
Where he thinks it may touch the line when it goes over the second time, he says it's on the ground there. Okay,
so it wasn't a double movement.
No, all momentum.
Well, you heard it there again from Shane Hayne. There was momentum. And once you bring momentum into it, it takes away the thought of a double movement. So there's the try scorer, George Tafua. Whether you agree with the try or not, it's been a wonderful exhibition of athleticism. And during the break, referee Shane Hayne, when questioned by Jonathan Thurston, again mentioned the fact that he believed there was momentum. And of course, with the entry of that word momentum, it takes away the thought of double movement. I personally thought there might have been very much a hint of second effort. But Hayne was on the spot and he stuck religiously to the thought there was momentum. From the sideline, no goal. 16-12 the score. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, you see when this ball comes out here, George Tafua has absolutely no room. And it's just a powerful effort on the Kuno replay. And what a way to hit back. The young guy only earlier made that error. Well, the ball was knocked out, which was ruled to be an error. A great effort there by George Tafua.
On the corner post where he thinks it may touch the line when it goes over the second time, he says it's on the ground there. Okay,
so it wasn't a double movement.
No.
Yeah, we were just looking at some replays there. Because he didn't ground it the first time and his feet were well in from touch, we wondered whether or not by the time he grounded it the second time, if his feet were still in. And there's really no angle that can tell us whether or not his feet touch the line. Now, he doesn't ground it till then. We were trying to find a boot on the line, but it was covered up by Cowboys players. So I think in the end, benefit of the doubt is probably the right call.
Here's Williams out wide. This is Faray. Just short of halfway. Manly by 4 points now.
And that momentum there changed on the back of that Williams run. No doubt about it. He earned the penalty. Manly come in and score the try, get the lead back.
Foran's kick is big. Down to Bowen. And Bowen 20 metres out from his own line. If Thurston was going to go left, he had to go to Kane Limit. He was the only one there. The Cowboys bunching. Hardly a player on the left of this ruck. Mitchell comes across to the obvious side.
They're scoring points. It always lifts the team, and now the Cowboys have to counteract that. That was Scott Bolton playing the football. Taumalolo taking it forward. Gets one away to Mitchell.
There's Morgan. He rifles this pass away for Brent Tate, and Tate playing it on the 40-metre line, Manly's end of the park. Last tackle, 4-point margin in favour of Manly, and Thurston goes high down to the eastern side of the ground where it's well taken by Oldfield over there. Now Jamie Lyon, and they're prepared to pass long over towards the goalmouth area. Foran inside the 20-metre line, the Manly 5/8. And George Tafua goes in from his wing to take that run. Ura's on in the headgear. Watmo.
Yeah, Tilby looking for some zip out of dummy half now. Matt Ballin to the bench. Here goes Bura, versatile player. Last tackle now, 38 out from his own line.
Cherry Evans kicking out of dummy half and kicking it straight down to Winterstein, who got the Cowboys try at the 45th minute, their second try to bring the game back to level. Just outside the 30-metre line, and the Cowboys with Tamo taking it up through the middle. Talking of tries, he got there first at the half-hour mark. Linnett. Johnson. That's Cooper. Now Johnson linking it. Thurston. Taumalolo ran through the line. Winterstein kicks back in field. Thurston's bear down in back play. Penalty goes to the Cowboys. Thurston tackled without the ball.
John was taken out after he's kicked the ball, mate. He's coming through. He's coming through. He's taken out late. John was. Let's go. Give him the ball, Brent. Let's go. Thank you on the line, boys.
You can see there.
What are you doing, John?
Glenn Stewart will have interfered with Jonathan Thurston's chase.
Well, he's decided not to level up here. Well, he can't level up, so 16-4 the difference. My mistake.
Mitchell. Right in front of the uprights. And Mitchell goes across to Thurston, who rifles one straight over the sideline. So Manly celebrate. The Cowboys had them under the pressure, Val, but they let them out early.
Seemed like a strange play. There was nothing really on there. He went away from Bowen. He saw Bowen was covered. Winterstein wasn't expecting that ball, and he shakes his head and said, "What was I thinking there?"
It's an awful pass, but again, I don't understand why Antonio Winterstein is standing 4 metres, 5 metres in front of his centre. It's only the second tackle. It was an awful pass.
For me, please, mate.
But the outside players have got to just play with more depth in general.
Won by Manly. And they take it out to the 30-metre line through Watmo. The drama Australia has fallen in love with is full of surprises. And the biggest surprise of all is the proposal you can't miss. The hit new Australian drama, House Husband, Sunday, 8:30 on 9. And this is with Kite now. Here's Foran showing it and giving it to Brett Stewart, who gave it to Faray. Dean Faray playing it pretty much on halfway. Williams linking it for Nullavow. Williams has got to give us more of what we saw earlier on, leading up to that Manly try. Winterstein, a little bit of juggling act. Back in the corner. Inside the 20 as the Cowboys rocket away. Graham. Run now for Linnett. Taken by Cherry Evans initially. Coming in over the top is Lyon. Thurston to the 40. Tamo. Mitchell's been out there for quite some time in place of Seguiaro. Thurston taken by Bura. Dived on by Nullavow. Lucky not to give a penalty. Bowen. And Bowen puts a little kick down, rolling in the direction of Oldfield. And Michael playing the ball. 25 metres out from the line. Faray.
Well, this is the most energetic I've seen Manly at this stage of the game for a while, so that's a good sign for Manly supporters.
Glenn Stewart taken by Thurston, ball and all. Good tackle by the Cowboys, number 7. It's shaking Stewart up a little bit too.
Stewart's had a few bumps. He's been knocked down after passing a couple of times, and well, they're all feeling it out there this time of year. There probably wouldn't be a player out there that isn't carrying an injury of some sort.
Foran. His kick is high, down to Graham, and Graham with blistering speed, but he hasn't got much of a chance of showing it when Watmo clamped him in the tackle.
Glenn Hill coming to sideline now as Scott Bolton brings it forward. We saw that enveloping tackle of Jonathan Thurston a fair bit at origin level on Glenn Stewart. Good step from Taumalolo. Did well to take him low, Manly.
Mitchell eventually finding the markers, who were both in retreat. 16-12 the score in favour of Manly. Controversial try given to George Tafua, who's with the ball now. He runs away from Bowen, tries to get between Tamo and Johnson. Got the ball away to Cherry Evans. Thurston's with him, stands in the tackle, back to Glenn Stewart, and he's taken by Tate and Bolton. Plays it back to his brother, and Brett gets away from one, but he doesn't beat the second, which is Linnett. Just outside their own 30-metre line, Kite on the 40. And here we come to the halfway line. Watmo improves the ball down the ground about 12 metres before Foran hits Williams with a pass. Williams then just outside 30. Cherry Evans kicks and Jamie Lyon from an onside position is chasing. The ball bounces and it's all over the place and Jamie Lyon is with it. Referee said 6 more tackles. It's play on, and Manly will appeal for a try. For Oldfield.
Go back to the kick, mate. Watch the onside, shoot to the grounding. See if there's a knock on there, mate.
Well, this was almost indescribable.
And I mentioned the Cowboys kicking for Brent Tate. Well, Manly kicked for Jamie Lyon for the same reason. He contests every time the kick goes up. And he's on the fly. Times his run beautifully. He's the man just on the right shoulder of Cherry Evans. Matt Bowen just misjudges this a little. Goes a little bit too far forward. It goes through his hands. Jonathan Thurston tries to reclaim. Now is it touched there by Kieran Foran. And if he did, that might have gone forward as Jamie Lyon ends up on the ground. He's got every right to throw the pass, flick it out the back because he's not held. Put on the boot by Cherry Evans. Dived on by Oldfield. All of that is fine. It's whether Kieran Foran gets a touch here going up against Jonathan Thurston.
And he does, looking at that hand.
He does. He does. So everything after this becomes mute.
The other little thing that happened there very early on was a push in the back on Jonathan Thurston. This is all to do with Foran's hand.
Yeah, I think it goes forward off him, and that's certainly what Jonathan Thurston and Matt Bowen are claiming as well, or maybe the push you're talking about, Ray.
Well, I might just expand on the push in the back of Jonathan Thurston. It probably put him in a better position, to be honest with you. This is after what I'm talking about. There's the hand. It belongs to Kieran Foran, and it's gone forward. And then Jamie, whatever he does is okay, and whatever Michael does is okay.
Well, as long as he's not held there or have any contact with the winger at Winterstein, he can flick it.
They are going on deeper into this re-examination, though.
Well, that's okay. It hits the leg of a Cowboy player, and that's no consequence.
That's okay.
So is he saying Foran hasn't touched this?
Well, that's, if we're going this far forward, then it's looking more like a try.
Talking of pushes in the back, and I see Cherry Evans gets one here, but this has still got nothing to do with what Foran did, and they obviously think that it hasn't come off Kieran. They wouldn't have gone this deep into it.
Wow.
They would not have gone this deep into it. Oldfield might have his second.
Well, I thought Foran touched it.
So did I.
So did I.
There's the try. Benefit of the doubt. Well, that is a massive call.
Contest.
It didn't touch Foran's hand.
That's where the benefit of the doubt is, okay?
It didn't touch his hand.
He can't clearly say that it was touched by him.
Twice we've been robbed, mate. That's twice.
That's fine. That's what he's called.
Well, you heard it there from the referee, the explanation saying the video referee could not definitively say that Kieran Foran touched the football, and that's where the benefit of the doubt was involved. It's a big, big benefit.
Steve Clark and Paul Simpkins have just made one of the most massive calls that they can possibly make in the finals. I honestly thought it came off Foran's hand. I couldn't work out why they kept going on and on.
Well, we're looking at the same pictures. What pictures are they looking at? If these are the pictures they see, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right. You know the answer to these questions.
So what do they see we don't see?
I don't know, but Jamie Lyon has poked it through the uprights. So Manly have now booted out to what might well be an unassailable lead. Andrew's sideline.
Yeah, I'll give a tip to the video ref. Have a look in normal time. When it goes in normal time, let's have a look how it looks on the Kuno replay. It lands, they look like they both compete. Please, I know it looks like there. It looks like a knock-on for all money. Just an injury report here on Jason King, the co-captain for Manly. He's got a shoulder injury. He probably won't be used during the game, the rest of the game.
Well, huge job now for the Cowboys as Nullarbor brings the ball back. Second tackle outside the 20.
See, the key to that is Thurston goes up with two hands. So the thought of him knocking the ball backwards deliberately goes out the window for me. The only way it can get in that direction, Thurston's up with two hands trying to catch it. That's Foran. That's Foran's hand, is it not?
Yes.
Rabbits?
No, it's Foran's hand, Gus. How many times do I have to agree with you? We have been dreading the thought of a call like this in a major game.
Well, there's time for the Cowboys. It's running out. The two converted tries put them back in front. They've got to just console themselves here and realise that all is not lost. And somehow, we've seen a lot of dramatic finishes this season. They need to pull another one out.
Jonathan Thurston said to Shane Hayne, that is twice we've been robbed. He was referring to George Tafua's try, I imagine, with his other reference. And then he said to Hayne twice, and he obviously is saying it wasn't my hand, it was his hand, and well, you be the judge at home. And it certainly looked like Kieran's hand to me, probably even looked like Kieran's hand to Kieran. But not to the video umpires. Tufua might be trapped here. No, he got away. He's a good lad. He's a good lad. He's still going. He got it back to Faray. Faray is put down.
Well, that was a chance for the Cowboys. If Brett Tate can get down there that quickly, where were the other chasers? Tafua slipped over a line dropout, and all of a sudden, the momentum changes. Well, that'll help. Stewart has lost the football.
Watch him.
And again, it's Thurston getting up there, putting pressure on him.
There you go.
Sir, oi, answer me this.
Hang on.
Yeah, well,
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you.
Not like that, you're not. Not like that, not. Way you go. Yeah. Heads in. No, John, not now.
Give me some respect there. Fuck ya! Time, sir.
Hey. Let's go, Manly. Jamie, let's go.
When he's gone to pick up the ball, he didn't ground it.
No intention. Let's go. In here. Come on.
Honestly.
Come on. Come on, John. Let's play the game.
Let's go, Gil. Let's go. Wake up, Jeff. Get in.
Well, I agree with Thurston. We've had this before because we've seen a try scored from, I think it was Tuivasa Sheck for the Roosters. Got up after the ball. You either ground it or you don't. I don't know about this intentional and unintentional grounding. The ball hits the ground and you've got control of it in your in-goal area. In my opinion, you've grounded the football.
You certainly don't need to be. You don't need to be held by a tackler. Under my reading of the rule book. Here's Cooper. Played on the 20-metre line. The Cowboys are pushing it up the hill. 22-12 down. The ball is back to Mitchell. He gets a one-hander away to Thurston. Thurston gets it back to Bowen. He shows it once. He gives it the second time. Crawl it is. Gets it to within 5 metres of the line. And again from Mitchell, and again to Bowen. It goes short off the boot of Morgan.
Well, that's good pressure. Maintain, still time. And just going back to this grounding, my argument is that if George Tafua loses this football, which he did, but if he loses it and the Cowboys come through and score, Manly would be saying, but sir, he grounded it.
He's not laughing.
Daly! Quicken up, come on. Stay behind!
Cherry Evans, put backwards by Scott, picked up then by Morgan, and the Cowboys halfback takes it back 12 metres into Manly's side of play. Scott then takes it to the middle, 28 metres out from the Manly line. Can you believe some of these decisions? Thurston getting it away, Bowen came into his back line, and Linnett is with the ball. 12 metres out from Manly's line. Mitchell for Tamo. Tomo goes behind Scott. Thurston out to Tate. Tate goes for the line.
Unmarked. Ashley Graham.
Wow. Mitchell then. Thurston quickly linking it to Bowen. Bowen across the ground, thinking of kicking, giving it to Johnson. Johnson puts the head down. 5 tackles gone. And they come back to the right side, and Thurston puts a kick in. They fly high, and it's come off the Cowboys. 20-metre restart.
Well, I think they bomb one. Let's have a look at Tate. Whether or not Tafua goes for the intercept, I think he has to pass. He has to pass.
Has to pass.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The pressure. It gets even the experienced ones.
Super ball from Thurston once again. As Bureau restarts to Glenn Stewart. He's driven sideways by Linnett.
Yeah, the pressure. In this case, though, you can add another word to it, the pressure and the frustration. 40-metre line for Manly. The Premiers by 10 points. And I think I'm right in saying 10 most controversial points. Played by Williams in the middle. Bura gets it away. Watmo runs to the line. Looking for Darcy Lussick. Watmo playing at 40 metres out there. Taken down by Cooper. That's gone to Cherry Evans, and he's got it rolling, but Bowen has got a bounce. And then Bowen passes quickly to Winterstein. Foran comes up out of the deep and cuts him down. That's a good chase on the kick by Foran. Now Graham. 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go and 10 points the margin. Played by Tamo. This is Scott. Preston, he kicks for Bowen. Stewart's there. They've seen it all before.
Yeah, Stewart read that perfectly. He really sprinted up from the time Thurston got the ball. His ears must have been burning. There was going to be a chip kick.
Lussick.
These games are hard enough to win without the calls going against you like that. Manly just now have to maintain their composure to go around next week again in Melbourne.
Let's not lose sight of that comment. Manly didn't make the calls.
No, they forced the issue. This has been their best second half for 6 weeks, Manly.
Williams got rid of Hall with a big fin. Pushes off Mitchell. Goes down under Mitchell and Cooper. Now, here is Cherry Evans. 15 out. He rolls it in. It'll be too deep.
20 metre.
Bring it back, Tony.
He's coming, ready.
You think the Cowboys have got to
Wait for the tap.
earn something from this possession? Either score in this set of 6 or win a penalty or get a repeat set to get themselves back on the springboard.
The season at the moment horribly looking like it's only got 8 minutes left. Hall playing the ball. Johnson short, Bowen short. Tamo ahead, back. Bowen supports, cuts out 2, goes wide, picks up Linnett. Linnett comes back, tries to step between Lyon and Cherry Evans and fails. Ball comes to Thurston, back to Scott, and they've driven this ball very, very strongly down the ground. It's been a very good set. Now the last, and Seguiaro is back out there. Thurston steps and then slides and loses the ball, and it's picked up by Lussick, or Morrow it is.
Yeah, looking for the miracle play there, Jonathan Thurston. They rushed on him. He knew it was the last tackle, so he tried to flick one back on the inside to keep it alive. If Ashley Graham had scored in this corner, we may still have a great finish. But if Graham scores, we're assured of an absolute nail-biter.
Tafua steps out of a tackle. Can he step out of another? No. Held by Glenn Hall.
How many big plays has Tafua made tonight?
Williams now sets himself on Seguiaro. Pulled down by Johnson. Cherry Evans. Darcy Lussick. And Lussick is held by Cooper. Ballon away. Cherry Evans on. Through Glenn Stewart. Catch pass. Jamie Lyon out over the sideline.
And there's another example of a winger in front of his centre for no reason.
Anthony, nothing silly, mate.
Fair enough, it's tackle 5 and you might be thinking kick, but Oldfield misses a real opportunity here because it's beautiful hands, beautiful hands. Look, Oldfield's in front of him. If he's back 3 metres and charging onto the ball, that's what wingers look for. I think we're just old-fashioned, people. I don't think we understand.
I think the coaches are pointing out exactly that. Their opportunities missed, and there aren't that many that are presented. Michael Morgan into take, he loses it forward. And Manly now. Neil Henry reacting as you would expect he would.
Yeah, the Cowboys have gone for Hail Mary plays their last 2 sets of 6, and that would indicate that emotionally they've lost contact with trying to win this one. And Manly, the defending premiers, battered and wounded last week. Doubts over players leading into the match. Suddenly they all get here fit and well, produce their best for a month, and will go and renew their rivalry with the Melbourne Storm down in Melbourne next week. Done a good job, Neil Henry, with his team this year.
Glenn Stewart.
You just get the feeling Manly might have last say here.
Morrow. Tackled by Scott and Seguiaro. Ballon for Watmo straight. They're inside the 30-metre line, and here's Ballon again operating to Foran, to Williams, and Williams behind Faraway to Stewart, to Tafua. Tafua! Into touch.
Lovely play. Watch the quick hands here from Brett Stewart coming from the back. And on this time, Tafua keeps himself deep enough. Lovely ball from Williams at the back. Whoosh, quick hands. And Tafua just deep enough to get some momentum. Lovely covering tackle there.
That's Glenn Hall again. He's had a big game tonight, the Cowboys back rower, former Manly player. Seen him come up with those kind of tackles twice on George Tafua. And the young winger looked to be away.
I'll tell you something, this George Tafua, hasn't he been some kind of a revelation? He came into the year without Michael Robertson and William Hopewate. I tell you what, they've lost nothing in Tafua. And I'm not being disrespectful to the players that I just mentioned, but nobody could have done a better job than I've seen tonight from the Manly number 2, George Tafua. He's a bit shaky a few matches back, but he's put in some beautiful performances more recently when they count. Here's Thurston, now Hall. And Glenn playing it near the halfway line. Bowen dummy half. And Morgan runs the play down the blind side, but time now very much against the Cowboys. 10 down, Thurston kicks and hopes. And Foran runs away. Goes quickly out towards the other side to Oldfield. And players on the 20-metre line. Manly's end of the park. Cherry Evans. Slowly. Glenn Stewart. See, that was hard. Scott and Stewart.
Stewart stayed down again. He's been in some collisions tonight.
Thurston's got it. Tamalolo.
All right, we've seen some miracles this year. We've seen 2 tries in the last 3 minutes. On more than a couple of occasions. Is there one left?
Tamo swerves, then he unloads. It's gone forward. Picked up by Winterstein. And it's gone dead. They'll go back to the 20-metre line.
I'm ready,
well, that means they didn't think it was forward.
Yeah.
Well, there's another call that's got me confused. I think it's this ball here.
It was a real opportunity.
Went forward a couple of metres.
How far forward is that?
And that would mean a scrum goes down, but instead of that we've got a 20-metre restart. Anyway, that's like crying over spilt milk. It doesn't matter anymore. The real damage has been done. Morrow. 22-12. A gap of 10. 12-6 at half-time. Cowboys got back to 12 all. Now they're down 22-12 on the back of a couple of markers in this game that they'll be talking about and post-mortemizing for some time to come. Fifth and last tackle against Manly. And we're in the last 2 minutes of the game. Cherry Evans puts a kick back in and Tate. Oh, Watmo scores.
Check the onside.
Watmo scores.
You check for onside in this challenge here, boys.
Push Tate away from the ball. That will be the inquiry from the referee.
Well, the referees on the field are saying to check the onside from the kick. But there is a collision at the end of this. Let's have a look. Cherry Evans goes infield. He kicks back. I think he's in front of him there.
Watmo's in front of him, the 11.
Yeah, Watmo's in front of him, and Watmo's the one who challenges for the ball, I believe.
When we roll it, there's another incident. Here's Tate. He's in an endeavour. Well, he's played at the ball. That's okay. No, that's okay. He played at the ball. Watmo is entitled to have a shot at him. The question is, was Watmo offside? Was he in front of the kicker, Cherry Evans?
Of course he is.
No try.
Bit of talk up here, so it's over.
Coach Neil Henry.
Thurston didn't find touch. He was trying for too much. And Manly will have last possession of this semi-final. Manly versus Melbourne for a spot in the 2012 Grand Final next week.
Europe.
Seems like they've been playing each other in big games for ages, doesn't it?
Cherry Evans got a ball back to Glenn Stewart, who just pokes it ahead. And it is Limit with the ball. So this will be the third time in the finals match that Manly has eliminated the Cowboys. The record against them. Here is Big Tamo. Straight up the middle, up to the halfway, bumping players off as it goes. And eventually he's held by Brett Stewart and Anthony Watmo. Seguiaro's pass might have gone forward. It did go forward. So this scrum will barely have time to pack. In fact, I doubt very much that it will pack. I think it's okay to say it's over. And looking at the Manly fans, they believe that's a fair call. It is over. The Premiers go to a preliminary final against Melbourne in Melbourne. 22-12, the final score. Manly scored 4 tries. Oldfield got 2. Stewart and Tafua got tries. And for the Cowboys, Tamo and Winterstein scored the tries. 22-12 then, in favour of Manly, in a game that is going to arouse plenty of talk, to put it simply.